Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Hour. I'm thrilled you're joining me today because we're diving into an incredible story. The story of the videos that completely changed MrBeast's life. If you've ever wondered how a small town teenager went from uploading random YouTube videos in his bedroom to becoming one of the most famous creators on the planet, this episode is for you. Today, we're going to explore those key videos, the turning points that not only went viral, but also transformed Jimmy Donaldson's career, his mindset, and his entire approach to YouTube. Before we dive in, I need to share a quick disclaimer. The information shared in this episode has been collected from various online sources. While we strive for accuracy, we cannot guarantee that every detail is completely correct or up to date. This content is for informational and educational purposes only. Now, imagine young Jimmy sitting in his room in North Carolina. He's just a teenager full of curiosity, obsessed with YouTube, and endlessly experimenting. For years, he uploaded video after video, gaming content, reaction videos, commentary, even some quirky stunts. Most of them didn't get much attention. But Jimmy had a vision, a dream that went far beyond the modest numbers on his early videos. He believed that with the right idea, the right execution, and relentless persistence, he could create something extraordinary. And then, slowly but surely, those turning point videos began to emerge. The first of these transformative videos was counting to 100,000. On the surface, it seems absurd, almost laughable. Sitting in his room and counting out loud for 40+ hours. That's not your typical YouTube content. But here's the brilliance. Jimmy wasn't just making a silly stunt. He was experimenting with the idea of watch time. He wanted to see if a long, unique, and strangely compelling video could hold people's attention. The video took massive dedication, patience, and yes, a little bit of madness, but it worked. People watched, shared, and talked about it. And suddenly, Jimmy realized something crucial: uniqueness and commitment can create virality. That video was his first taste of YouTube success on a scale he had never experienced before. Soon after, another turning point video emerged, one that revealed the heart and soul behind what would become his signature style: giving away money. The first major giveaway video involved Jimmy giving a stranger $1,000. Imagine being a teenager using your own small savings to give money away to someone you didn't know. Most people might have hesitated or even held back. But Jimmy understood that there was something magical about generosity. That video didn't just attract viewers, it created an emotional connection. People watched because they were curious, amazed, and inspired. And they shared it because it made them feel good. That single act taught Jimmy the power of combining entertainment with human emotion, a principle that would define his future videos. Then came the videos that pushed boundaries further, like "Last to Leave the Circle Wins," the $10,000, or "I gave my brother $100,000. These weren't just stunts. They were experiments in engagement and storytelling. Jimmy realized that people didn't just want to see money being given away. They wanted to follow a story, root for participants, and experience the suspense. He began structuring videos with rising tension, mini climaxes, and moments that kept viewers glued to their screens. Each of these videos not only drew attention, but also taught him more about what the YouTube algorithm rewarded watch time, shares, comments, and likes. Another turning point video came when Jimmy experimented with unusual challenges and endurance tests, for example, standing on a platform for 24 hours or surviving in extreme conditions. These videos were insane, but they were highly shareable. Why? Because they were extreme, unique, and entertaining. They sparked conversations, curiosity, and even disbelief. And with each of these videos, Jimmy's audience grew slowly at first, then exponentially. But perhaps the most significant turning point wasn't just a single video. It was the moment Jimmy realized the formula behind virality. Create content that is bold, emotionally engaging, unique, and shareable. He began combining outrageous stunts with heartwarming giveaways, with challenges that kept viewers on the edge of their seats. Every new video became a chance to test, refine, and perfect this formula. As his videos grew in scale, so did his ambition. He moved from giving away 4,000 to giving away cars, houses, and even private islands. And every single big milestone started with those early turning point videos, the experiments that taught him what worked, what didn't, and what viewers loved most. Each one was a building block, a lesson, and a stepping stone toward the global superstar he is today. But here's something truly inspiring about Jimmy's journey. It wasn't just about luck or being in the right place at the right time. He learned from every single video, analyzed every metric, and experimented relentlessly. Early failures became data points. Small successes became the blueprint for bigger ideas. And turning point videos weren't just accidents. They were the result of vision, persistence, and a willingness to push boundaries in ways that most creators wouldn't dare. And as we reflect on this, there's a key takeaway for all of us. Success often comes in moments of experimentation and risk. The videos that changed MrBeast's life weren't the safest or easiest choices. They were bold, unique, and sometimes downright crazy. But that willingness to try, to fail, and to refine is what transformed a teenage hobby into a global phenomenon. So, the next time you watch a MrBeast video, whether it's an outrageous challenge, a massive giveaway, or an epic stunt, remember that behind it lies a series of turning points. Videos that taught lessons, tested ideas, and slowly built the foundation of one of the most successful YouTube careers in history. Those turning points are the heart of the story, and they remind us that every experiment, every risk, and every bold idea can be a stepping stone to greatness. After the early giveaway videos, one of the most important turning points in MrBeast's journey was counting to 200,000 and similar extreme endurance experiments. On the surface, these videos were absurd, sitting in a chair and counting, or performing repetitive tasks for hours. But these stunts taught Jimmy an essential lesson about viewer retention. He discovered that people would stick with a video far longer if it was unique, ridiculous, or extreme enough to spark curiosity. Each time he tested a new stunt, he learned how long viewers would watch, when they might drop off, and how to structure the video to maximize watch time, one of the most critical factors in YouTube's algorithm. Another turning point video came with giving away 100,000 to random people. This video wasn't just a stunt, it was a revelation for Jimmy. He realized that emotion drives virality. When people see acts of kindness or generosity, they react, comment, share, and come back for more. The algorithm picks up on these interactions, amplifying reach. Jimmy understood that combining high stakes with human emotion was a formula for consistent growth. It wasn't just about money, it was about creating content that made people feel something deep: excitement, awe, or joy. Then there were the challenge-based videos, like Last to Leave the Circle wins the 50,000. These videos were turning points because they showed Jimmy the power of competition and storytelling. Viewers don't just watch for the prize. They watch to see the journey, the struggles, strategies, and reactions of participants. This taught him the importance of pacing suspense and keeping the audience engaged until the very end. Every mini-climax, reaction shot, and plot twist mattered. He wasn't just filming challenges, he was crafting stories within challenges. Another milestone was when he began collaborating with other YouTubers. Videos with friends or other creators were turning points because they opened doors to new audiences. Each collaboration created a ripple effect. Viewers from other channels discovered MrBeast, watched, and subscribed. Jimmy understood that the algorithm rewards cross-channel engagement, and collaborations became a key strategy in scaling his content further. But perhaps the most defining turning point videos were those that blended massive scale with emotional impact. Think of recreations of popular concepts like his Squid Game video, or giving away entire islands or huge sums of money. These videos weren't just bigger, they were carefully designed to combine every lesson Jimmy had learned: curiosity, emotional engagement, suspense, and viewer retention. They became templates for how to consistently go viral and maintain audience trust. What's remarkable about all these turning points is that Jimmy treated each one as a learning experience. Failures weren't setbacks, they were data points. Small successes weren't the finish line, they were proof that the formula worked and could be scaled. Each turning point video added a piece to the puzzle, helping him understand what truly resonates with viewers and how to leverage that for consistent growth. These videos also taught him about reinvestment and ambition. Early giveaways might have been small, 400,000 here, 5,000 there, but the principle was the same: give value, create emotional engagement, and reinvest every success into bigger projects. Jimmy's willingness to take risks and reinvest his earnings into more elaborate videos became a hallmark of his growth strategy. Ultimately, the story of MrBeast's turning point videos is a story about persistence, experimentation, and insight. They remind us that even small beginnings can lead to massive outcomes if you're willing to test, learn, and iterate. Each turning point was a lesson. Some taught him how to hold attention, some taught him how to create emotion, and some taught him how to scale ideas. Together, they built the foundation for his empire and show that success on YouTube is a combination of creativity, strategy, and bold action. So, when you watch a MrBeast video today, remember, behind the flashy challenges and jaw-dropping giveaways, there's a history of turning points, videos that shaped his strategy, taught him the rules of the platform, and ultimately changed his life forever. These are the moments that transformed a teenage dreamer into a global superstar. Another turning point video worth exploring is giving away 100,000 to a random stranger. This video marked a subtle but crucial shift in Jimmy's approach. Up until this point, He had been experimenting with stunts and endurance challenges, but this video introduced the human element at a massive scale. By giving money to a complete stranger, he created a story that people could emotionally invest in. Viewers weren't just watching a challenge or a game, they were witnessing kindness in action. Comments poured in, shares skyrocketed, and engagement went through the roof. Jimmy realized something fundamental. People respond to emotion almost as much as spectacle, and the algorithm notices when viewers react strongly, comment, and share content. Then came another pivotal moment, the last to leave the circle, challenge videos. These weren't just about giving money. They were about creating a story arc within the challenge. Each participant's strategy, reaction, and persistence made the audience care. By structuring the video with small, engaging events spaced throughout, Jimmy learned how to maximize watch time and keep viewers glued until the very end. He discovered the power of suspense and pacing elements that would become critical in all future videos. Next, we can't overlook the collaboration turning points. Working with other creators wasn't just fun, it was a calculated move. Each collaboration brought new audiences, increased subscriber growth, and provided fresh ideas. For instance, teaming up with other popular YouTubers created a network effect. Fans of one creator discovered MrBeast, stayed engaged, and often subscribed. Jimmy realized that collaborations were a way to amplify reach without reinventing the wheel, and he incorporated them strategically into his content plan. Another turning point video series was the extreme challenge videos, things like standing on a platform for 24 hours or counting to absurdly high numbers. At first glance, these videos seem ridiculous, but they were carefully designed experiments in viewer retention. By testing how long viewers would stay engaged, Jimmy learned the mechanics of attention span on YouTube. He discovered what hooks worked when people tended to lose interest, and how to structure content to maximize both retention and algorithmic promotion. These lessons became the backbone of his later blockbuster videos. Perhaps one of the most game-changing turning points was the first massive scale giveaway video, like handing out cars or houses. These videos required serious investment and risk, but they had exponential impact. Not only did they attract viewers, but they also reinforced Jimmy's brand identity. Someone who is both entertaining and generous. These turning points taught him that reinforcing a brand persona consistently helps create loyal audiences and amplifies algorithmic promotion, because people not only watch, they anticipate, subscribe, and share. Then came the era of high-concept videos, recreating popular ideas or setting up jaw-dropping scenarios like Squid Game, recreating the largest Lego tower or elaborate survival challenges. Each of these videos combined everything Jimmy had learned: spectacle, suspense, emotional engagement, collaboration. They weren't just videos. They were carefully engineered experiences designed to maximize both human engagement and algorithmic promotion. These turning points were proof that experimentation, data analysis, and bold creativity could scale to unprecedented heights. And through it all, Jimmy kept learning. Every video, whether successful or not, became a lesson in content strategy. Failures weren't wasted. They were data points. Small successes weren't the final goal. They were validation of a strategy that could be expanded. Turning point videos were milestones, but more importantly, they were opportunities to refine, scale, and master the craft of YouTube content creation. What's remarkable about these turning points is that they show a consistent pattern. Jimmy combined creativity, risk-taking emotional connection, and strategic thinking to create videos that resonated deeply with viewers and performed exceptionally well in the algorithm. It wasn't luck, it was methodical experimentation and relentless learning. By the time MrBeast started producing videos at the scale we see today, he had already internalized all of these lessons. The turning point videos laid the foundation for the empire he's built, from massive challenges and giveaways to philanthropic initiatives like Beast Philanthropy and ventures like MrBeast Burger. Every major success traces back to the insights gained from those early, transformative videos. And this is the beauty of Jimmy's journey. It's a reminder that success doesn't happen overnight. It happens through trial, error, experimentation, and turning points that teach you how to get better. Those videos didn't just entertain millions, they taught Jimmy the rules of the platform, the psychology of viewers, and the formula for viral success. The lesson here is clear for anyone listening. Sometimes the videos, projects, or experiments that feel risky or unusual can be the ones that change your life. For MrBeast, every turning point video was a stepping stone to growth, influence, and global recognition. Each one carried lessons that compounded, creating a formula for ongoing success. So, as we reflect on these turning points, it's not just about the money, the challenges, or the stunts. It's about strategy, observation, and learning from every single opportunity. These videos were more than content, they were milestones, experiments, and lessons that transformed a young creator from a small YouTuber into a global phenomenon. Another turning point moment in MrBeast's journey came with his extreme stunt challenges videos. These were the kinds of videos where Jimmy would push himself, and sometimes his friends, to seemingly impossible limits. For example, he stood on small platforms for hours, survived bizarre conditions, or performed outlandish endurance tests. At first glance, these videos might look like pure spectacle, but they were teaching Jimmy critical lessons about viewer engagement. He observed exactly how long people would stay interested, what moments made viewers react, and how to structure a long video so people didn't click away. Every crazy stunt was a lesson in attention retention, pacing, and building suspense, all essential ingredients for YouTube's success. Then came the turning point series of massive giveaway videos. These videos weren't just about giving away money. They were about creating a story and generating emotional investment. Whether it was giving $10,000 to a random stranger, giving a car to a fan, or donating to small businesses, each video demonstrated the power of human connection. Viewers didn't just watch, they shared, commented, and celebrated alongside Jimmy. The algorithm noticed, and these videos spread like wildfire. It was in these moments that Jimmy realized generosity could be a strategic tool for virality, a lesson that would define his entire brand. Another turning point was challenge-based competition videos like Last to Leave the Circle Wins $50,000. These videos taught Jimmy about the importance of story arcs. People stayed engaged because they were rooting for the participants, curious about the outcomes, and emotionally invested in the suspense. Jimmy learned how to structure content with rising tension, mini climaxes, and payoff moments. These elements kept viewers watching until the very end, which is exactly what the algorithm rewards. Collaboration turning points were equally crucial. Working with other YouTubers brought new audiences and exposed him to different content styles, ideas, and production techniques. Each collaboration became a lesson in cross-channel growth. Jimmy realized that teaming up with other creators wasn't just fun. It was a strategic move to expand reach, build credibility, and increase engagement across multiple networks. One of the most transformative turning points, however, was when Jimmy began producing high-concept, large-scale videos. Videos like recreating Squid Game, building massive structures, or giving away entire islands weren't just bigger. They combined everything he had learned: suspense, pacing, emotional engagement, collaboration, and high stakes. These videos were meticulously engineered for virality, demonstrating how cumulative lessons from earlier turning points could be applied at scale. Through all of these experiences, Jimmy treated every video as a learning experiment. Failures were data, small successes were validation, and every turning point video contributed to a larger understanding of the platform, the audience, and the mechanics of viral content. He learned that risk-taking, creativity, and relentless iteration were far more valuable than playing it safe. Another key insight from these turning points is Jimmy's ability to reinvest in growth. Every successful video was an opportunity to create something even bigger and more ambitious. From 1,000 giveaways to multi-million-dollar stunts, each step built on the last. This mindset, reinvesting in creativity and scale, became a hallmark of his empire and a major lesson for any aspiring creator. And perhaps the most inspiring lesson from these turning points is that success is cumulative. Each turning point video didn't just provide views and subscribers. It taught Jimmy something new about audience behavior, the YouTube algorithm's storytelling, and emotional engagement. Over time, these lessons compounded, enabling him to create content that consistently performs at the highest level. Ultimately, the story of MrBeast's turning point videos is more than a YouTube success story. It's a story about curiosity, experimentation, persistence, and learning from every opportunity. Each turning point, whether a small giveaway or a massive stunt, shaped his strategy, refined his understanding of content creation, and built the foundation for a global YouTube empire. And as we continue exploring, we'll also see that these turning points weren't just about the videos themselves, they were about mindset. Jimmy's willingness to take risks, invest in big ideas, and learn from every experiment is what separates him from the countless creators who never break through. These lessons aren't just for YouTube. They're lessons for creativity, entrepreneurship, and personal growth in any field. So, as we reflect on MrBeast's journey, one thing becomes crystal clear. His rise wasn't a matter of luck or instant fame. It was a series of turning point videos, each one a stepping stone, that taught him something new about content creation, audience engagement, and the YouTube platform itself. From counting to 100,000 in his early experimental videos to giving away money, cars, and even entire islands, Jimmy Donaldson learned the importance of persistence, experimentation, and creativity. Each turning point video revealed a new insight: how to retain viewers, how to create suspense, how to evoke emotion, and how to structure a story that keeps people glued to the screen. He also discovered the power of collaboration, the value of reinvesting in bigger ideas, and the undeniable impact of human connection. Every experiment, every risk, and even every failure was a lesson. These lessons compounded over time, creating a blueprint for viral content and a formula for long-term success. What makes MrBeast's story so inspiring is that it reminds us all of a universal truth: success is rarely instant. It is built through persistence, learning, and the courage to take bold steps. The turning point videos weren't just content, they were life-changing experiments, each contributing to the growth of one of the most influential creators in the world. And perhaps the most important takeaway for anyone listening today is this: the ideas, challenges, or projects that seem risky, unusual, or even impossible might just be the ones that change your life. MrBeast's turning point videos weren't safe bets, they were bold experiments. But because he approached them with curiosity, strategy, and relentless energy, they transformed a small YouTube channel into a global phenomenon. So, whether you're a creator, an entrepreneur, or someone chasing a big dream, there's a lesson here: embrace turning points, take calculated risks, learn from every experiment, and never stop iterating. Just like MrBeast, small steps, bold experiments, and relentless learning can lead to extraordinary success. That's the story of the videos that changed MrBeast's life, the turning points that transformed a curious teenager into a global YouTube superstar, and the lessons that anyone can apply in their own journey toward growth, creativity, and success.